Japan is full of history, both factual and mythological, and we want to share these stories with you. And we'll be jumping around the history of Japan to find stories both interesting and fantastical. I'm your host, Thomas.
And I'm your co-host, Heather. We've both lived in Japan now for over 2 years and have learned so many interesting tales to tell. We'll also be reading a Japanese song or poem for you in Japanese, and we'll discuss the poet and meaning behind these songs.
And with that out the way, Heather, you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, let's go. Oh no. Your audio is fine.
My audio is fine?
Oh, it's recording.
I see recording.
I think our laptops just hate us
It's
today.
possible.
We've had a lot of problems.
Welcome back from vacation. Yay! Everything's gonna have fun.
Oh, thank you. But remember, I'm back from vacation. You're supposed to ask me a question.
Just a moment, please.
You forgot.
Thomas, when you came back to Japan, did you come back in excess?
I did.
Oh no. What did you
I did.
excess?
Well, I got to the airport. I was a kilogram over, so I had to, But I weighed before I got in the queue, so I wasn't like having to repack in front of everyone, so I was smart that way. I was a kilogram over because I'd bought some books while I was in Italy.
Some.
Some. So I basically just had to put them in my backpack instead, and it was fine. But yeah, I came back in excess. But I bought you a gift, so you can't really blame me.
I don't really thank you for the gift. I had seen it. I can't wait to get it in person.
You're welcome.
And so where did you go on vacation? Where did you go?
Went to Rome with my parents, and then we got the train down to Naples and finished our holiday up there. So we saw like the tourist attractions, the Colosseum, Pompeii, Herculaneum. So it was interesting. It was good. I enjoyed it.
Sounds wonderful. So you got a lot of nice sightseeing. You got a lot of nice food. How was the weather?
The weather was as hot as Japan. It just wasn't as humid, so it was a lot nicer.
Ooh. Wait, it's gotten less humid. So when you came back, it's been a little bit less humid though, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I forgot how bad it was. So to me, coming back to this is just horrible.
I'm so sorry. But fall is coming. I saw a poster today.
Fall is coming. The rains have started again. So that will hopefully cool everything down a bit.
I saw a poster for Skimmy. The moon viewing, those snacks, the mochi and things are coming out now for that. So it's the cool is coming. Just hold on. Hold on.
Lovely. Good. So today's episode, this is the episode that was supposed to come out 2 weeks ago, but didn't happen. I was traveling. I tried my best. I was traveling, but then I got an eye infection from traveling home. So my eye was hurting, and I didn't want to stare at a laptop screen for a few hours with my eye infection. So yeah, we had to skip a week. So this is the superstition episode that I was going to do solo, but now I'm back. I can tell you, and you can ask me questions like usual if you think of anything.
Well, I'm definitely glad that you are doing the superstitions with me, but I'm not glad that you had the infection, and I'm glad you're better. So welcome back, and glad you're better.
Thank you. I have a few superstitions to tell, but I wanted to start with a superstition that me and you both know quite well from living in Japan, the superstitions of the numbers 4 and 9, because a few of our listeners might already know this, but for those who don't, I thought it'd be interesting to introduce them to this. So we have, first of all, the number 4, which in Japanese can be pronounced shi, which has the same sound for the word for death. And then you have the number 9, so ku, which has the same sound for the word for pain. Therefore, you will find that a lot of buildings in Japan actually don't have like a 4th or a 9th floor because of the connotations that it has.
Have you seen any of those buildings? I must confess, I don't think I've paid attention, or maybe I just don't go in a lot of tall buildings, but have you noticed that? I haven't seen.
I've been in a few elevators that haven't had like a 4th floor or a 9th floor.
Oh, wow.
there's been quite a lot more that don't have a 13th. So obviously, unlucky 13, like that superstition has made its way to Japan. But this number, the bad associations of 4 and 9, can also be applied to other things. So, for example, if you're giving gifts or someone is giving you gifts, like they potentially won't give you, say they're giving you like a collection of small cakes or omiyage, they won't necessarily give you them in groups of 4 or groups of 9 because of the association of death and suffering.
Now, for gift giving, have you heard of this one that if you give someone, you're not supposed to give someone scissors or a knife as a gift?
No, that's not one I've heard of. What's the reasoning behind that?
So the reasoning for that is you don't give someone a knife or scissors because it can symbolize severing ties or severing connections between people.
Oh, I like that one. That's kind of interesting. It's quite, I wouldn't say literal, but like there's a definite, you can understand the superstition behind it. Where did you learn it?
I learned that from, actually, I think two people, from Yoshi and from one of the teachers at my schools last year. So a couple of different places. I think I read it online too because I think I was reading about like wedding gifts in Japan, and someone advised don't ever give a knife, which is unusual because in America you often give like kitchen utensils like knives and kitchen shears, but don't do that in Japan.
Okay, that's good to know. I'll try and remember that for the next time I have to give a gift.
If you want recommendation, just money. Give money, as my kids would say. Money, please.
But I did find out that there is another number which has interesting connotations, and that is the number 7.
Ooh.
Specifically, if you go to like the Ryukyu Islands, so like the islands south of Japan, which include Okinawa, there's like old shamanistic beliefs that the number 7 was quite a powerful number because their ancient beliefs were that there were like 7 founding siblings for these islands, and there were 7 souls within the human body. But also they said there was 49 bones in the human body, which is interesting because it uses the 4 and the 9, which on the traditional Japanese mainland are like have bad connotations.
It's pain and suffering.
Exactly. But in the Ryukyu tradition, they have more of a powerful meaning behind them. And yeah, I thought that one was interesting because that is one I didn't actually know about numbers-wise. I knew about the 4 and the 9, but the 7 one was completely new to me.
Yeah, that one's I've not heard of before either. It makes sense though.
It makes sense.
Kinda. I mean, 7 also, because you have she, and 7 also has a sound like shichi. So you still have she in the sound of she in the 7. So I could sort of see how they could probably, the sounds would be related. At least that's how I would hear it.
That's interesting. So the next one I found, we're going to stay on the Ryukyu Islands. Now in Japan, there is a climbing fern known as the Lygodium japonicum. So it's a form of like a creeper plant, and it's used on these islands as a means to be able to catch evil things. Like ancient traditions, you would wear them as like headdresses or form them into amulets or wreaths, which would help like keep an area pure and safe. The reasoning behind this was because of the nature of the plant, it being like a tangling vine, it would be able to entangle and trap the spirit of the dead and keep them contained, therefore keeping everyone and the area safe.
So is this is just based on the islands? It's not in mainland.
Yeah, the book I read this in specifically says on the Ryukyu Island chain. It doesn't link it to mainland Japan at all.
Okay.
It's a very separate superstition that never made its way to the mainland.
Wow. Are there lots of places, like do people have these at their homes? I mean, when you say climbing, how big do these plants get, did it say? Is it indigenous to those islands?
It's quite widespread in Eastern Asia, so you have it in Japan, Korea, Taiwan, and actually most of Southeastern Asia. It even made its way to India and parts of Eastern Australia. So quite a widespread plant, and from looking at a few pictures, it can grow quite tall. So, I feel that it was used because it was quite big. It had like a big presence. So they thought it was big, so maybe therefore it was powerful, so it could be used to contain all these like evil and bad spirits that could potentially hurt you and the village or tribe that you came from.
So how does it attract the spirits? The spirits are just kind of walking by and, oh, there's fine, got caught.
From what I've read, it basically just states that it would entangle the spirit or the evil creature. It doesn't say whether it's designed as like to entice them in or if it's just because they're walking by at the time. So that one I'm not too sure about.
I like that plant though. I kind of want one now, just in case.
Like cover your entire apartment and protect you from everything.
Well, not that much, because I would be scared about breathing. I'd like to breathe, but maybe the balcony. The balcony plus nice shade in the summertime, keep it kind of cool.
Okay.
Oh, like they do with the morning. I think it's morning glory plants. They do in the summer. At a lot of my schools last year, they have the climbing trellises, and they'll plant the morning glories, and it's a creeping vine, so it gives a natural shade, keep the school a little bit cooler.
Oh, okay. So I have one more superstition from ancient Japan. I have a few on modern Japan as well, but this is specifically in a section on superstitions of ancient Japan. And this one is to do with your toenails. Like you've already mentioned scissors. You might actually know this one about the toenails. So there is a superstition where you should not clip your toenails at night, which arises from the play on words of yotsume, meaning night, and nails. But it also has like a phonetic meaning, which means shortening your life or to die early. But I did some extra research on this online, and there are a few people who think this superstition came about not just because of this play on words, but because obviously around the time period when this superstition came into being, they didn't have electricity, they didn't have good lighting, so at nighttime they would have poor candlelight, and the scissors back then weren't designed for clipping toenails, so to do it at night was a lot more dangerous as you couldn't see what you were doing.
It would make sense because if you cut yourself, you would probably be more likely to get an infection.
Exactly.
And shorten your life, because they wore like geta and open-toed shoes and going through everything, all the dirt.
Exactly.
Any kind of open sores would be...
Yeah. So I think potentially it started off as like just good life advice, but then maybe descended into the realm of superstition at a later date.
Now, I have heard that when Yoshi told me about that, but he did not tell me why. So thank you for the why, and I will tell him tonight. I'm very excited.
Moving on to some superstitions from modern Japan. The toenails one that we've already talked about still survives to this day, because like you said, Yoshi knew about it. But this one is about spiders.
Ew.
You don't like spiders?
I am not a fan.
Okay,
I'm not a fan. The 8 legs kind of... I mean, the spider in your apartment is okay. I have accepted him as your friend.
Or Harvey.
Yes, Harvey. I like Harvey, but Harvey is also in Chiba. I am not in Chiba.
You're a safe distance.
I am a safe distance. I can appreciate him from afar. If there is a spider in our apartment, Yoshi likes spiders. He will set him free. So I don't kill spiders in my home. I wait till Yoshi gets home and he puts them out on the balcony.
Well, that's good, because the superstition goes you should not kill a spider if you see it in the morning. However, you can kill them if you see them at night. The reason you shouldn't kill the morning spider is because it will bring you luck for the day or for your future life. However, a nighttime spider is known to be a thief and so could potentially steal things from you. Also, there is the belief that a spider, if you see it in the morning, it's a messenger from heaven, whereas the nighttime spider would potentially be a messenger from hell.
Oh, darn it. I wonder, I'm going to have to ask.
So I don't know now. If you see a spider before noon, maybe you'll be a bit nicer to it, but then afternoon, all hell breaks loose. Like, get it out your house. It's bringing bad luck.
Okay, so the morning spider, he can just chill. Please eat all the mosquitoes. The evening spider, you're going to have to go. But what if it's noperable?
If it's one of those, then...
It could be. Because they can assume many forms. It could have assumed the form of the spider.
They can. I have two very short ones next. The first one is, if you whistle at night, a snake, ghost, or monster will appear before you. So please be careful on your nighttime walk. I know you sometimes go for them.
Yes.
Or at least used to go for them.
Still occasionally. And you know what's funny? I like walking alone. It's actually nice walking alone in Japan. As a woman walking at night, I feel mostly comfortable, but still you have to be aware of your surroundings, and sometimes I don't want to surprise people or, people to surprise me. So sometimes I would whistle as I walked, not loudly and not in residential areas, but like areas where there weren't any people.
But what if a ghost came?
Yeah, I really courted danger
You
there.
can't do it anymore. What if a ghost came or a
I
snake?
courted
It's just not
danger.
worth it anymore.
Oh gosh. Oh, so far I think it was okay, I hope. But yeah, now I definitely will not whistle. I will just have my flashlight, I guess. Is there a superstition about flashlights at night? Can I use my flashlight?
No, but on about light, I can tell you one about fire at night.
Did I transition?
Which is,
Oh my god, I transitioned. That was amazing.
You did. I that wasn't even planned. Like, what good job. So, if you play with fire at night, you will wet the bed.
Say what?
Yeah. Yeah, you heard me.
Does this? So my birthday was recently, and we lit a candle in the evening. Was that not a good idea?
Oh, it depends if you wet the bed or not.
No, I think I was good. I believe I was okay.
So maybe a candle doesn't count. Maybe it means like a proper bonfire or something.
Well, I would definitely not do a campfire at night then. Say whistling at night, playing with fire. And then killing spiders previously, not now. I'm so sorry, previous spiders.
You're not doing well for luck right now, are you?
No. I want to go find a spider in the morning and bring it in my house, just in case.
Just be like, there.
Birds of plants climbing vines.
Next superstition. There is the belief that a woman born in the year called the Hinoe Uma, which is one of the 60-year cycles that Japan follows based on like the Chinese calendar. If a child is born in this year, it would be a great worry for the family, because the superstition is that a woman born in this year would have the stubbornness of a horse and a very, very fiery temper.
Oh.
Because the word Hinoe is associated with the element of fire. So this superstition starts from an Edo period story called The Greengrocer's Daughter, which basically says that so in 1681, this girl called Oshichi fell in love with a man as she was taking refuge from a fire. And she fell in love with him and wanted to meet him again, so decided that she would light her own fire in the hope that he would find her again. And at the time in the story, she was supposed to have been 16 years old. So tracing back to the date of her birth meant she was born in this year of Hinoe Uma. So from this story, her personalities became associated with this year. And so the superstition was born that all women born on this year have this fiery temper and basically like the stubbornness of a horse. What I found interesting was that the last time this year came around in Japan was in 1966. And actually on that year, there was a 25% reduction in birth rates because of this, potentially because of this superstition.
Yeah, I've heard that some places, some people will try to delay having children certain years because of the zodiac, some of the personality traits, they don't want those for their child. They want the more positive years. So sometimes people will time activities to not have a child born in that year.
Good use of activities there.
I try.
So it will be interesting to see, actually. So the next time this is going to happen is in 2026.
Oh.
So yeah, I mean, like 7 years' time, it will be interesting to see whether there is again a drop in the birth rates because of the association with the Hinoe Uma year. But we'll see. It's 7 years away. We've got a long time yet. So
I don't think it's so bad to have a woman with a fiery temper. Like you have, a child.
No, I don't think it's bad at all.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, maybe this time people will want to have a child born in that year because that could be pretty awesome. Get things done.
So the birth rate's going to skyrocket.
Yeah, get things done, go get him attitude. Yeah, maybe it'll be higher.
Yeah, well, we'll see in 7 years, I guess.
Yeah. I feel like I should make a little calendar reminder. Remind me in 7 years, check the birth rate.
Put it on his calendar right now so it'll go off on the same day. And we'll be like, Heather, we should check the birth rate right now.
I know. I'm hoping we'll do the podcast. 7 years in the future, we can go back and say, "Hey, do you remember?"
That would be so good.
Aww.
That would be 7 years' time. That would be like 370 episodes.
Oh wow!
So good luck.
Yep. Good luck.
We'll see how that goes. This book has a lot of superstitions in it, but there's one more I wanted to tell you, which I think was one of the stranger ones, which is when there is thunder and lightning, Actually, it's very themed because when I got up this morning, there was a big thunderstorm for about an hour while I was at
Wow.
school. But basically, when it thunders, you should cover up your belly button, okay? Cover up your navel, because otherwise the god of thunder will come and take it.
What? Why would he want it?
Yep. Well, this book also has a story about why. So I can tell you. Okay, so this story is a story about the Thunder God and his love of navels, but the story sadly does start out that for some unknown reason, the God of Thunder loves to eat them. So not only will he take them, he would steal it and then eat it. So the story goes that once upon a time, there was a gentleman who decided he wanted to go and basically kill the God of Thunder. He goes out, he murders a woman, and he steals her belly button, and he attaches it to a kite to basically lure down the Thunder God so he can fight him and hopefully kill him. Now, the Thunder God sees the navel, the belly button flying on a kite, and he takes the bait and descends to take it. And he takes the belly button and begins to eat it, and basically the man then gets to fight the Thunder God because of his insatiable appetite to eat belly buttons. It doesn't say whether or not he kills the Thunder God, but it does have a weird ending which basically says, oh, by the way, the murdered woman actually lived and she got her belly button back. I'm not quite sure how they stitched it all back together, but he only fake murdered her and stole her belly button to be able to fight the Thunder God.
Maybe she had, innie versus outie. Maybe she had an outer belly button.
Maybe she did. I don't know. But yeah, that was one of the weirder of the stories that I found, superstitions wise, and especially when you add the story behind it. So yeah, I thought I'd end with that one, a very strange superstition, and then I don't know how you're gonna transition from that into your poem, but the ball's in your court now, Heather. It's up to you.
I'm not sure how to transition that. I will cover my belly button the next time it thunders, and I will see if Yoshi knows that superstition. Now I'm really interested to see if he knows that story. If not, I have a story to share with him. So Thomas, I'm not going to transition. Instead, I'm going to sing you a song, and I want you to see if you know this song.
So we're not having a poem today, we're having a song.
We are having a song. It's name that tune, or guess that tune. I guess I should probably say that instead of...
Do I win a prize?
The prize is joy and happiness. So yes.
Okay, I'll take it.
Excellent. All right, let's see if I can do it. Yuyake koyake de hi ga kurete Yama no otero no kane ga naru Otete sunai de mina kaero Karasu to issho ni kaerimashou.
No.
Yes.
There's a song. There's a song behind the Going Home tune.
There is a song behind the Going Home tune. And do you know how I found the song? Do you know how I found it?
Please tell me how you found this. This is ridiculous. This is like the happiest moment of my life.
When I messaged you and I had all caps, do you understand now why I had all caps?
I understand why you were so excited when you were wanting to do this today. So, where did you find this?
So my lovely, wonderful friend Sarah in America found this book for my birthday, and she, as soon as she could buy it, she bought it for my birthday and sent it to me. This book is called The Bells of Old Tokyo, Travels in Japanese Time. It's by Anna Sherman. And as soon as I got the book in the mail, I opened it and just started to read it and noticed the very first chapter, the very first paragraph had the information about the Going Home song.
The very first
paragraph, not even like just the paragraph. And the song is called Yuyake Koyake. And I asked Yoshi, I went, oh, is this the song? Is this the song? He's like, oh yeah, that's the title of the song. I was so excited when I saw this. I had no idea. I wasn't even sure how to look it up. I should have Googled it earlier, but I love this book just on virtue of the fact the very first paragraph I learned the title of that song, and now I know the lyrics, so when I come to visit you, I will sing along, and now you can learn it because I'm going to put the link in the show notes as well for the YouTube version of the song.
Thank you.
And I have the translation for what it means too, if you'd like to hear that.
Okay. Of course I want to know. Oh my god, I'm so excited. It's unreal.
It's so cool. So there's a couple of different translations. Okay, so maybe I'll just kind of paraphrase a little bit. So
Okay.
at sunset, like the darkening of the day, the sunset time, the bell sounds from the temple, and we're going to go home hand in hand, and we'll go back together with the crows.
With the crows.
Karasu. Karasu is crows.
Why would they pick crows, do you think?
I think well, there's a lot of crows in Japan. A lot of crows in Japan.
That's true.
And
yeah,
I mean they fly at all times of day, but I'm guessing I've got to look this up. I'm not sure if like crows go back to roost to the same place. I'm assuming so. So they would kind of go back home.
Would you even Google, when do crows go home? Frequently asked questions about crows.
Yeah, I was so excited about the song that I neglected to do any more research about it just because I was just that. And I've been rehearsing the song. And for some reason last night, I could not say Koyake. I was so tired. I kept saying something very strange. And Yoshi kept laughing at me because I couldn't say Koyake.
Why were you struggling so much with that one?
Because I was practicing with him, I think around 10 o'clock at night. And it was after Japanese class and studying, and I talked a lot in Japanese yesterday.
So from my quick Google, I have failed, and it just says crows go home at nighttime. So, great. Thanks, Google. Thanks for that.
Well, for the song, you're going to go back together with the crows. There is also a second verse, has information about the moon and like gold stars in the sky. So it's quite a pretty song.
Okay. It is a pretty song. So I'm also still getting over the fact that there are words to this tune we've been listening to for 2 whole years and we never knew. And it just happened to be in the first paragraph of a book your friend sent you. Like, I don't even know what the chances of that are, but I'm happy it's happened. I'm just content that I finally know the answer.
And the one that switches in I think it's going to be in the fall. They'll switch to Furusato. I know that one. I sang that in a Japanese choir last year and the year before. So I do know the lyrics to that one. So when the song switches, I can sing that one for you too.
So
I think that's a good place to stop.
For today, I have no words still. My life is complete, Heather. Thank you.
You're so welcome. You need to memorize the lyrics now.
I mean, we've mentioned it a few times already when we've been recording that we can hear the song, but I don't know. A few people have said that they can't hear it once we put the background music on. So to finally have the song and the English, it's like, you know what? This can be the last episode of the podcast. We're done. I'm happy. We just end it here. I'm done.
Wakarimashita.
Let's end on a high. Thank you everyone for listening. It's been a beautiful 12 weeks. Thank you for listening, and we'll never speak to you again. No, we'll be back next week, don't worry. But yeah, once again, that's everything from me for this week. Heather, do you have anything else to say?
Kaerimashou. Let's go home.
Hi. Okay. Well, thank you everyone again for tuning in this week. Sorry we had to skip a week, but we had some problems, like we said. But we're back on our normal schedule now, so everything should be fine. We're back to normal. That's everything from me, so I'll speak to you next week.
See you guys next week. Matane!